Hey, yo, gang, check this out. Welcome to another episode of Smoke Session Confessions, where everything comes out in the smoke. Let's put my little whoop together. Hey, so I come share another story with y'all today, right? First, I got a question. Like, have you ever just stood out on a clear night and watched the star travel across the sky? You just watched the star travel across the sky. Some people may say a plane, a plane, a plane. If you think all of the lights that's in the sky is planes moving, you ain't never flew, right? I've been on enough flights to have reference points from the ground to see what's what, right? Like the highest altitude flying plane that would be in sight for you to see would be the chemtrail planes, right? Be the chemtrail plane. Now, this the thing, right? I'm not talking about like shooting stars to where you got a tail on it or nothing like that. I'm talking about like a star just through the sky, right? Now, I use the term star because I don't want to spook nobody. Be like, I seen a UFO, which I be seeing them. Don't even worry about that. But just saying though, like, you ever watched one just streak across the sky? Right? It's just streaking across the sky, and then when it gets so far, it just right? Now, I know people they be saying like, well, the lights flicker. It's a plane. Look, it'll flicker. Yeah. Yeah. Planes lights flicker red and blue. White, red, blue. You will see that, right? It's a quick flick too, right? No, these stars that I'll be watching, witnessing travel across the sky, they're orbs, kind of sort of like, right? So it's like when they let off an energy discharge, it'd be like it's like distorted. Not like a glitch in the hologram or nothing like that. You will see this orb, however you want to say it, look like an orb from the bottom, but this whatever. It'll distort. I took a video when I was back in Oklahoma little sometime back. And I zoomed in on it, and you can clearly see it distort the whole orbit. And it's just traveling, change little directions and things of that nature. People be like, they they make short turns and this and that. That be their fake shit, right? If they're not in any type of combat, they're not gonna move like that. For your information. Tonight, right? Tonight I shoot to the store and I step out on the porch and I just look up. I'm like, now the hunter is always out, right? The hunter is always out. Like I can walk out on my front end any given night when the stores is out and the hunter is right there, right? This particular night, like the moon has never been like directly overhead, like directly overhead. Where I'm at now, it hasn't. It was when I was in Oklahoma, right? So I'm standing there and I'm looking. And I'm like, man, this thing ain't never been like that. And I look, and that thing, I just see it. I'm like, boom. Because I seen a couple planes, and then I'm like, boom, there you go. Just shooting out. All the way up there, like, all the way up there. Like, yo, you got to tune your eyes and your ears to certain things to see this stuff and know exactly what's going on because, like, it just look regular. And when you follow it, then it release. I'm like, all right, cool. So we know what's up, right? This is normal activity for me, really, So that led me to come share a story with y'all tonight. the first time um the first time contact was made with me with what you would call an extraterrestrial. I had this apartment, right? Staying in this apartment, and during the time, it was in the height of some extraordinary uh spiritual warfare. Like people don't get it. Like they hear spiritual warfare and they think voodoo and this and that and blah blah blah, which those are components of certain things. But when you talk about spiritual warfare, you talking about like 5D astral realm and shit like that, gang stalking internet, whether it's internet, monitoring spirits, things of that nature, they be, you know, and I tell people I meditate at a high level. I meditate at a high level, right? I um I can do some special things, right? Let's just say that. And this particular day, I'm at my crib, right? And it's interesting because I was going through some little shit, right? Like it was a nice little we had a nice little group of people on the little social media, TikTok shit, little spiritual community, whatever, and it was cool. Like it was cool. At the same time, I knew that people was faking, like faking doing their work, right? Talking real good, but I know, right? Based on just what I do. And I would notice, like I brought to a few people's attention who I saw them as, which ancient I saw them as, right? Some I shared with, some I didn't. Right? Same time, it's like I know they wasn't doing the work, right? So me knowing that forever and a day has been an agreeable and a disagreeable side, just meaning I could sit back and just pay attention. When you command a certain type of energy, um, you can notice. You can notice when when the tails tuck and things of this nature. And you can tell when somebody's sticking their chest out just because, like, so I just be paying attention and shit like that. And a couple of them was gifted in some of the shit that I do, right? That's what made me know, like, I know what the fuck is going on, right? See, I don't know if anybody, like, I don't know what part of the timeline and journey that people is at, but once you're in tune with your emotions and you tapped all the way in like you need to be tapped in, you can feel it. You can feel it, right? It be most of the time it be them red flags that people be telling some they be ignoring. But you can feel it though. Like real shit. Like I'm way past the waking up with scars on my body and headaches and things of that nature. That was going on before I actually started walking down the tunnel and getting myself together. I've been waking up with scars and not knowing what was going on and shit like that, right? So I was going through a time, right? Was had me walk off my job. Well, I made a choice, right? I made a choice. Because see, I would tell people like you gotta isolate or just be in some type of solitude as you're healing and you're receiving certain information. Because being in the regular society while you're doing it, it really ain't gonna work. Like you're gonna get frustrated and it's being new to you. So you really not gonna, let's just say you're not gonna react well. Right. So I had quit a job, not knowing what was going on. Like I ain't know. I knew everything was gonna be straight, but I'm like going through a little time. I had started listening to Free Soul. Started listening to Free Soul, and it was like the music spoke to me, so it opened me up to go with what I was thinking, following my intuition, basically, right? So I would do these things while I was meditating and things of that nature. And I woke up one morning, consciously woke up, and I was like about 4 feet off my bed. About 4 feet off the bed. I look down, I see my body. I'm like, damn, got spooked. And I just, instead of just falling, I just lowered myself down real slow. Right. So a lot of things, like a lot of this shit is normal to me. Like it's normal. It's been normal to me for a while, right? So one particular day, like in going through this shit, like my internet had got cut off, right? I was waiting on a little payment to come in. My internet was off. My phone was off. Matter of fact, one of my TikTok people helped me get my phone back on. You know what I'm saying? Like that was some solid shit. You know, they end up going the other way. It's all good. They'll be all right. But it was shit going on. I ain't saying like this encounter had to do with that person, with just peep game. So one day, like all this shit off, but me being a cable guy, if you got I knowing this, if you got Wi-Fi and it's not a combo router, meaning that the router has it's a router which you plug the wire in and it has Wi-Fi in it. If it's separate, it's cool. As long as it's not a combo, it'll work. So sometimes like we'll go on service calls or go and re-hook up somebody internet and the Wi-Fi still be in the box. What you mean the Wi-Fi still be in the box? The internet off. I know the internet is off, but the Wi-Fi box is still working. Right? So during this point in time, remember this. My phone is off, my Wi-Fi is working, right? So I had been doing a lot of meditating. This was after I connected the source and had my back and forth and accepted a frontline position. You know, so I'm one day I'm at the crib and I'm listening to some meditation music, right? It had been like a little gloomy day, so it was cool. I was frustrated, going like in my mind about some shit, and I'm back and forth and blah blah blah. So it's like, all right, cool. At the same time, like the comfortability of me sharing certain things in a proper format for social media, it was like it was going good. I was getting more comfortable in putting the things out and this and that. I was putting it together, so it was cool, right? So this day, I had got up, I cleaned up, everything was good. My daughter was at her mom's. Everything was cool, but it was still like kind of sort of gloomy day. Um, I had my little incense going, I had meditated, and I was just cleaning up throughout the house. Something had me to check the filter on the furnace in my apartment. Right. So I opened the door, take the screw, 4 screws, take the screws out, pull the door off. There's no filter. What? I've been living there this whole time. I never noticed. I never opened it. I wasn't tripping, right? So I say, all right, cool. Boom. I call the folks. They like, all right, we have somebody bring one down there. Cool, no problem. Right. So I put the door back up and I just put the screws in there loose. I put them in there loose, so when they bring the filter, I ain't have to take the screws all the way out, right? All right, cool. So look, I'm like, I need to get some sleep. Just lay down and go to sleep. It's gonna be all good. I had been doing some reading too, so some reading and studying. So my mind was everywhere for a little minute, right? Boom. So I say, go and lay down. Now, I lay down, I got my phone and I had my laptop, right? So on the laptop, I had meditation music on, right? On the phone, I was listening to a read. So I had an earbud in. So I'm listening to a reading. I got the meditation music on. And mind you, I don't like physical TVs, really. Right? Waste of space. So in my unit, I had two projectors. I had a projector in the living room, projector in my daughter's room. So, but this is the thing. I took the projector out of the living room, put it in my bedroom. Right? Put it in my bedroom. So there's nothing in the living room at this point in time. I lay a pallet on the floor because it had been cool. They said it was gonna rain. Open the balcony a little bit, lay on the floor. I'm listening to the meditation music and the reading, right? Boom, peep game. I'm laying there, boom. I'm meditating, I'm bringing my awareness to certain spots. And like, it's like for me, when I get frustrated, like I'll meditate. I've been slacking because I've been doing some physical things, but at this time, like I get frustrated, I immediately lay down, meditate, whoa, and I end up falling asleep and shooting off somewhere, right? So this day, boom, I'm laying there. I heard we're here to detain one person. No. What it was I couldn't hear the reading no more. It was real low, and I'm like, I'm trying to squint to hear it, but I heard the meditation music, right? So I opened my eyes, and just like the people on TikTok, when they was doing the little grow groups, they had the TV vertical, and they'll be reading off the net. It was just like that, right? Mind you, at the time in the living room, there is no projector. It just showed the silhouette of a TV. I say, what? I know I ain't tripping. I know it ain't no TV right there, but it's a TV right there, right? It had a profile picture. You know how a person create a new profile, like in the Facebook and the MySpace days, where they'll create it and it'll just be the silhouette. That's what it was, right? So it had the TV vertical. The top part of the TV was the profile picture, a blank profile picture, and a big TikTok sign at the bottom, right? So I knew it was somebody from TikTok, right? Now, whether you get in a group and talk about somebody or you actually perform spell work because you know how to do certain shit, or you just energetically hating on a motherfucker, it comes through. Like if you tapped in, you will know, right? It'll lead. Thing about it is you got to be in people energy. So if being in their energy, meaning like communicating with them, that's all it takes for somebody to be in your energy, for you to receive certain shit and you can pinpoint it, right? So see the TikTok sign, I'm like, am I tripping? Now the whole time the earbud is in, the reading's still going, but it's real low. The meditation music going, my left ear started banging. I'm like, I closed my eyes again and I looked again. It was a Andromedon on the screen. And if you're not familiar with Andromedons, think Mystique from the X-Men. Fine ass Mystique. The blue man, and it was a masculine. And he said it was like it was a sports ticker. As soon as I looked at it again, seen the figure, it was a sports ticker going across. And I'm like, they fancy. And all I heard was, we're here to detain one person. It's like, what the fuck? First thing in my mind, like my shit always be going. So first thing in my mind, I'm like, is this some training? Because I've been meditating, right? I'm like, if it's some training, I'm all with it. Like, I ain't got no job. I ain't got shit to do. What's up? Then it just said it again. We're here to detain one person. And I'm like, wait a minute. I snapped out the shit. I'm like, detained? What you mean? No. A Dromedon, I know, like, me knowing there's always an agreeable and a disagreeable side, regardless on which species, which group, whoever you deal with, it does not matter. You can have 50 people in the same house. Everybody is not going to be on the same page. Don't matter. Everybody is not going to be on the same page. Right? So, the shit, I'm like, what the fuck? Now, mind you, I tell people, I've been telling them for a long time, like, it's all about the emotion. Don't panic. You have to see how something makes you feel, what emotion you get from it. The average person would have freaked the fuck out, right? So I'm like, the first time it started talking, I slapped the earbud out of my ear. I'm like, am I tripping? I still heard the reading. I'm like, oh my God. Me knowing that entities affect electricity, right? Me knowing this, I'm like, it went from, is this some training, to damn, here they go. Here you go. This my Independence Day. This my Independence Day time. They finna come get me. So I'm like, I'm sitting there. I wasn't hiding nothing. I was so sober, so I wasn't even tripping. So I'm like, boom. I'm like, I jump up because when I set up, I heard again. I slapped the thing on my ear. I set up, and it like the Dromedon went off. It went back to a plain blank profile. I laid my head back, closed my eyes, looked up again. It was gone. I jumped up, went to my table. Mind you, my internet is off. The Wi-Fi is stuck in the box. I get up. I walk to my kitchen table. I walk to the kitchen table. I instantly grab my phone and go live. I'm finna go live. And like, because I needed somebody to talk to at the time, I just need to get this shit off. So I jump on live. My lives don't be jamming no more right now because of the warfare. I just be keeping it G, but it's okay. But look, we finna be back. Thing about it is I go live. 2 people jumped in the live. That was cool. 2 cool people jumped in the live. And as I'm explaining it to them, right, I'm telling them I had just started the story. Now, how I'm sitting facing the camera, right? How I'm sitting facing the camera, like, it will be right here. Like right here behind me. But it's like I'm looking in the phone. I'm holding the phone like this in my hand, looking down, so they really can't see it. I'm talking, right? My lights flicker, right? The lights flicker, the stove go out, right? Come right back on. Everything go out, come right back on, right? The door comes off the wall. I know I put the screws back in there. The door comes off the wall, not just fall, but like through at me. I'm like, what the fuck? Now, mind you, I say it was supposed to rain. By this time, it sounds like it's raining so hard outside, but you can hear the wind, like you can hear the wind, right? It was a ship right above my apartment complex. It's like where my apartment set at, it was like a couple of blocks from the highway, but it's like a bunch of industrial area over there. So outside of the apartments that's right there, like it was my apartments, it was another apartment, it was a smaller neighborhood over there, but behind it, it's all industrial. And the airport right there, right? But the airport is down, is down. So nothing should be flying right there that low. right? Right. I was supposed to strike out the house. See, this is what warfare do to you, right? When people send spiritual warfare at you, they want you to go crazy. They think you're gonna go crazy. So the things that they're telling people about you seem legit. But see, in my healing and my ascending, I never relinquished my crown to nobody. So I know better, right? So boom, I'm like, damn. Soon as the door came off the wall, phone went dead. Phone goes dead. The internet shut off. Come back on. I plugged my phone up. Phone didn't want to charge up, didn't want to come back on. Some said go outside. And I'm like, nah, Jack. Cause I was still in like I was confident in me. I knew what the fuck was going on, but I'm like, something ain't right. Like it just ain't feel right. Right. So I'm like, boom, I get up, I do my 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? Calling my full, my elemental buddies. You know what I'm saying? Help me out with the situation right quick. Give me a little sage at the end of the sage, because if you do it proper, you'll end up at a door. So I hit the door and I'm like, I'm just looking. And for how the wind was blowing, it was not a lot of rain. And I'm like, walk out there. I walk out there. And it's like I come out my door. It's 2 doors to the left and then the parking lot. So I walk down. It's the parking lot, but it's like a strip. It's a drive-through. So a drive-through. Then at the end of my building, which was the wide part, I stayed on the long. So the wide, boom, you make a left. I look up there and I'm like, the ship was right there. Like they sliding out. Like it's quick shit. Like that shit be happening quick, quick, quick. When the shit came off the door, had I broke out the crib, whether it would have been good or bad, don't know. Right? It didn't feel right because I wasn't in control of the shit. I didn't initiate the shit. Right? See, the first time I went through some shit like that, I went on the road for what I seen. So I was cool with the shit, right? I'm in my own shit. Who sent this to me? What? Hold up. I called on my elemental buddies. Hey, depending on which order you call them in, right? You might end on East, right? I remember one night I called on my elemental buddies and East pulled right up. It was like no exaggeration, like pulled clean up. It was like as soon as I said the name and I said the next 3 words, it was like, if you've ever seen Chronicles of Riddick, if you've ever seen any of the Chronicles of Riddick, and the lady elemental that they had captive on the ship, how she moved across the little trapdoor and shit, it was like as soon as I said the name, I said 3 more words and it was like slid up on the right side, like, what up? Hold up. It was good. It was real freaky, but I'm like, damn. Whole time it's like, you know, hollering at my elemental buddies, you know what I'm saying? Help me, whoop, 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 whoop. Like shit. I was kind of nervous. I don't get it twisted. I was kind of nervous because it was like, I tell people like, in order to get the information, you gotta go on the road. You gotta go on the road to get the information. If you're waiting for it to come to you, it's gonna be difficult because you already going through this shit down here. So you go on the road to get the shit at the same time. Everybody has to have a home game. Just like your greater United States, they're going to have a home game. Trust and believe. Everybody has to have a home game. Everybody. And they ain't had a home game ever. just some points scored. They ain't never had a home game. Pop shots. 9/11. Then it was Oklahoma City before that. So yeah, 96 to 01, because it was 96, right? 96 to 01. Didn't Corona come out in 20? I'm just saying, listen. So yeah, that shit was freaky. Well, I went to sleep, right? Laid down, went to sleep. And my phone wouldn't come back on. Internet was knocked out. Like, that's how I knew, like, it was something, right? It affects electricity, right? So knocked everything out, so I couldn't use my phone, none of that. And the only thing I had was a moon phase app that played some little melodies, right? And why you got the moon phase app? Because if when you know rules and regulations of things, you will know what your enemy gonna do. So you just prepare. And it was cool. Like, the internet came on the next day, about 1:30, some shit like that, and I was back in action. But it was so, like, I've had several situations, but it was like that one right there was like just really let me know, like, boy, hey, turn up with them though. And since I told Source I'm gonna stand front line, I guess they thought it was a game. Like, oh, you really gonna? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's why I can confidently say, like, shit, we around, man. We around. Y'all be cool. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Catch y'all in the next episode.